All right, guys, we are live in effect. You already know what time it is. It is Thursday, so you are with us right now in the locker room. No other place you should be. I know you might have some football on the side. I know you might have your hors d'oeuvres, but your focus needs to be with us in the locker room because we have another amazing show planned for you guys tonight. If this is your first time in the locker room, I am Coach Terrence Wood, and we've got the topics, you guys, the things that are real time, and we want to cover it for you in an enlightening and educating way. Now, to my far right, might be your right, might be your left, depending on how your iPhone, your tablet is. But this is the host with the most. This is my fellow who comes in every single week, holds me down in the trenches. That is none other than Q, the guru. What's going on, player?
What's going on, Coach? I wasn't going to show up this week. I'm out of fruit snacks, boy. Lucky I showed up. I wasn't about to do the show this week, man. I don't operate without fruit snacks, man. You know how I get down, man. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, well, I'm going to have to see your care package, brother.
Yeah, you're going to have to. Yeah, you better do something. I'm telling you, next week, man, we don't have no fruit snacks. It's going to be a problem.
There you go, and that is cute for you. He don't play about his fruit snacks, and we have somebody with us tonight, you guys, that is going to bring the house down. He's going to keep it real with you, truthful about this football entertainment industry. This is someone that has put in the work himself. This is an opinion. This is someone who has been across some killers on the other side and held his own. This is a former fighting Illini alum, NFL player, long time, none other than Mr. Carey Davis. How's it going tonight, Carey?
I'm doing well, brothers. How y'all doing, man? I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on. We've been talking about it for a long time, so I'm glad to partake in this event with you all tonight.
Definitely, man. We've been pumped up to get you on. Q, I know you are a native of the Lou, so Q was saying we got to get my guy on, man. So this is a long time coming, and glad to have you on. If you're joining us live, thank you for joining us live. If you're catching the recording, you're in the right spot. We see the great Eric Foss with us, Coach Foss saying, here we go. So, hey, let's get after it.
Hold on. That's Steelers talk. Here we go. It's Steelers talk. So I'm a salute, Eric. You know what it is.
There you go. So let's get right into it, man. If you guys haven't been with us before, like I said in the opening, we love to cover the topics that are real time, that matter to the players, the parents, and the coaches. So this first one, you guys, is obviously a big one in the college ranks right now. And this is very, very expensive buyouts for coaches, for whatever reason, need to get out of Dodge. They need to leave the program. Usually it's because of wins and losses. But, hey, it's not always a sour note for some of these coaches. A lot of these coaches are walking away with the bag, the big bag, over $55 million in coach buyouts, you guys, in the past couple of weeks. So I want to run it to you real quick, Carey. I mean, you played in the Big Ten, major Power 5 football. I don't know exactly how good you guys were when you were there, but if you see the coach get let go, maybe he was a terrible coach. Do you think he should walk away with a bag?
Well, I think, the contract is a contract. And if you sign somebody to a set amount of money, they are entitled to that. And I think, with these buyouts, they are probably getting less than they were entitled to when they decide to walk away. I heard an interesting stat, I think over the weekend, where it said in the last 10 years, and somebody can check this and make sure it's correct, but I think it was over $500 million in the last 10 years for Power 5 public universities for coaches buyouts. And, if, like I said, if your contract is for 5 years and they get rid of you after 3, and they still owe you money, man, they're gonna have to figure out a way to make sure that thing is right before you walk away. And for me, if you are paying me to leave, I gladly go about my business. If I'm one of them coaches, I don't think you're gonna hear many gripes or complaints about what they're receiving because they signed the contract and they're getting what they deserve.
Talk to me, Q. Maybe your kid is at Texas Tech. Maybe your kid is at my alma mater, Colorado, and now his career is in flux. You don't know what you're gonna do next with your boy, and coach walking out the door with $10 million. Is that good to go? Should a little bit of that go to the players? What's your thoughts?
I mean, no, Carey's right in a sense. When you sign on a dotted line to a contract, that is for a set amount of money. But the flip side of the coin is you also brought there to win. So it's kind of a double-edged sword where it's like, hey, yeah, you are, if you got to pay somebody to go, but the purpose for you signing on that dotted line on the university standpoint is, hey, you're coming here to win. You're coming here to take this program, get us to major bowls, bring us, those 4 and 5 star recruits so we can build something here significant at this university. So, in some ways, it's like, yeah, they did sign. I get it, legally with Carey saying, but on the other hand, it's almost like you kind of rewarding failure too, because, you got programs, that you were brought there to succeed and they falling flat on their face.
Yeah, well, obviously this is going to continue to go on, y'all. And, the players, hopefully things work out for you individually at these schools that these coaches are leaving from. But I know their wife is maybe rubbing their back and saying, baby, I know you tried your best, but she might not be complaining too much the next morning.
Right,
so let's go on to the next topic, you guys. And we are covering an NFL kicker. Recently, you guys, from the Chicago Bears kicked his tail off. He was responsible, I believe, for all the points in the Chicago Bears last game, but he was being called up from the practice squad, I believe. Only scored 16 points, so I guess he hit a bunch of field goals. And basically, you guys, they let him go after the game. So I wanted to let you guys weigh in on this. Q, talk to me. If you get called up, maybe you're on the practice squad for the Packers, you come in the game, you get a couple picks, then they let you go. How you feeling about that? I know as an individual you're not feeling well, but maybe as a teammate, are you saying maybe we should give this cat another shot, or you thinking, hey, when somebody's injured, they need their job back?
I kind of look at this situation like this, Coach. He's proved his worth. He's proved that he's clutch, and he's given his agent some ammunition. So shopping him around is not going to be a problem. I know this kid will get picked up. He'll get picked up fairly quickly. Before you know it, you'll be in the playoffs, and you're going to need a solid leg in those playoffs, Carey. I know you know that. Sometimes, the playoffs are what they are, and man, often enough, we've seen it time and time again, man. It's going to come down to that, that last, 40, 50, 60 yarder, whether you're going to go home or you're going to advance. So he'll get picked up for sure.
No, that's a good point. Obviously, you want to get something on film for your agent. Carey, obviously, you bounced around to a couple of teams. I want to take a different approach with the question for you. How should this young man, he obviously probably wasn't happy, how should this young man walk out the door when they're telling him, hey, you did a good job, but you got to go?
It's the nature of the business. It's the NFL, and that I think reading up on the story, the Bears' normal kicker was coming back from a personal issue or something like that. So he got his job back, and it's unfortunate that Badgley didn't get a chance to stay. But it's the nature of the business, man. It's never personal. It's just business. I can attest to that. I got released after my first game ever in the NFL from Indianapolis Colts. Was called up. I was on practice squad. They brought me up to the active roster the night before the game. Played in the game on special teams, and then was released a few days later because of some injuries at some other positions. So it's not fair. It's not. It don't feel good. But it's the nature of the business. It's the NFL, and when you are understanding that it is business, you have to conduct yourself accordingly. So I think he'll have an opportunity to play some more, but just understanding that, man, it's business. It's never personal. And you got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
There you go. There you
Thanks.
go. You know, so it's not always your fault. You young ballers watching this show, it's not always your fault. It's maybe something that's totally out of your control. Carey said they lost some guys at another position, and that meant he was on the chopping block. So you guys just got to keep it professional, keep your head up, and keep stomping. We're on to our next question, you guys, and we got the perfect gentleman on the show tonight to answer this, and this is the Super Bowl recipe. The Super Bowl recipe. Obviously, we're fortunate enough to have somebody that has lived the dream that many of us have, to be on a winning Super Bowl team. And I want to ask you, Carey, when you look at some of the key ingredients, when you look at quarterback, when you look at coach, when you look at the timing and injuries, schedule, maybe, what would you say are maybe the top three that come into the Super Bowl recipe?
For me, I think it's really just the men or the people in the locker room. I think the best teams that I've ever played on were player driven, player led. So it wasn't a whole lot of coaching having to fuss and cuss or yell and do a lot of the things that your teammates do and as it pertains to holding you accountable. I think the best teams are the teams where you don't want to let the guy down next to you. You know, we as players care more about what your teammates and what your brothers think as opposed to what the coaches think. And so for me, that's probably the main ingredient, is just making sure that those brothers are holding each other accountable. And obviously you got to have some dogs that don't hurt. You got some dogs, you're gonna be in a good position. But if you have a team of young men or young women, whatever the sport is, that are holding one another accountable and working hard and working together as a group, those are the times where those championships are attainable.
So did you guys feel early in the season or preseason that you had that type of camaraderie and culture?
Well, I think, that team had come off of a championship 3 years prior. I got there in 2006. They had won in 2005. And so it was a lot of the same people on that team, from that championship run. And it was just an understanding of how to go about your business day to day. And we got into some, sometimes the schedule falls and things happen in a certain way. We were the number 2 seed that year. Tennessee was the number 1 seed. And so we were going to have to go to Tennessee to play them in the AFC Championship if everybody won out the way that it was normally, it was seeded. And so Baltimore actually went to Tennessee and beat them in Tennessee, which made us have home field advantage for the AFC Championship. And we had already beaten Baltimore twice that year, so it was just another chance to play against our rival in the biggest game before the biggest game, and we were able to beat them. But I think sometimes you just get those type of breaks because we had lost to Tennessee earlier that year. So it was going to be a tough challenge to go to Tennessee to beat them for the first time after already having lost to them that season. So you do get some things happen and fall in your direction. But for the most part, it's just about that team camaraderie and making sure everybody is on the same page.
That's big, man. That is big. And obviously it was meant to be because you guys won it. We are on to our next topic, you guys. And this is one of the nuanced topics of college football today. There's a lot of things that are different than when Carey played, than when Q, the guru, played, and myself. And obviously, you guys, the transfer portal is huge now. And SMU, who played last night and got shellacked, had a bunch of players sit out due to just not feeling a team and feeling like they wanted to save some eligibility and jump in the transfer portal at the end of the season. So I'll come to you, Q. Talk to me, man. You in the locker room, maybe your roommate, and it's midway through the season, and he's saying, "Hey, Q, I'm not coming. I'm not going to this game, man. I'm sitting out. I'm through. I need to save my eligibility and worry about me." What's the fine line, Q, as far as being not a team player and needing to look out for yourself?
I mean, you definitely need to look out for yourself, man. But that's to me, that's at almost the height of selfishness, man. As an athlete, I mean, I get what they're getting at, where it's like they want to give themselves time to possibly get another opportunity at a different university. But it goes back to what Carey was just saying in regards to coaches as well with the Bob situation, man. Like, you signed on the dotted line, to attend that university, man, and play there. So that's your job essentially, to show up, strap it up, not only go to class, but any scheduled games, man, unless it's injury, you expected to strap it up and play.
That's real talk. And Carey, I know you've been a coach. Do you see any difference with the commitment of today's kids compared to when you were in the trenches?
I'm gonna have to disagree with my brother over there, because I feel like it's just business. These young men have figured it out. It's a business, and they are taking care of their business, and they understand that. Q, when we played, the business was the universities that we went to. You went to KU, Facts. I went to Illinois. That was the business. We were so sold on making sure that we took care of the business for that school. These young men are taking care of the business of themselves. And it's the beautiful thing about the NIL deals, about the opportunities with the transfer portal. Now, I do think that it can get out of hand sometimes when you got guys transferring 2 or 3 times. But if you have an opportunity and you in a situation that it's no different from the college coaches. They get it that are coaching a team, have a successful season, and they on to the next one. Well, sometimes these young men are in a situation where they see it's not going anywhere and it's going nowhere fast. So why do I have to be the one to ride this thing out? And so it's a business. It's not personal. I think these young men are getting a chance to actually be a part of the business side of it. Where, like I said, when we were playing, we didn't have that option. We just had to line it up,
leverage. True.
And play. So it's an opportunity for them.
True.
That's a great point. Go ahead, Q.
I'm about to say, but the thing is, which Coach, we've said too, sometimes, again, it's a double-edged sword, that portal, because sometimes you end up getting jammed up and now you in the portal, right? But you end up in a worse situation than you were before, because a lot of boys, they end up in the portal, think they're about to head off to Clemson or some other school that they really aspiring to be to, and end up just sitting in the portal rotten. So it goes both ways sometimes, but I do agree with what you're saying. Times that's how times have changed, man, for sure.
But that's business. That's business. How many businesses can say, "Man, I'm glad I didn't make that move." I was thinking about making, or damn, I should have made that move.
Right.
So you young cats, at least do this: get some consultation, get some advice. Talk to somebody that really cares about you, man. Because some of you guys might just need a little thicker backbone. Some of you guys do need to jet, but you need to talk to somebody. Don't just have the coach get on you one day and you're out. You're ditching the team.
I would say this real quick, and I ain't going to cut you. I would say if you are a high school, a college athlete, considering entering the transfer portal, talk to your high school coach. Talk to, some people that have an understanding. I'm a high school coach. And it's kids that I've had that have transferred. And I'm like, what the hell you do that for? Why didn't you call me and let me know that was on your mind, so I can communicate with some coaches, kind of get a filler, try to fill out who is interested, if anyone is interested. We talk to college coaches all the time. So, we have college coaches coming in that are looking at our juniors, that are looking at our seniors. And if I got a kid that graduated a year ago, and I could tell a college coach, hey, this kid is thinking about transferring. What do you think? It's an opportunity because it's the transfer portal. I mean,
right.
I can have conversations with them. So, it talk to your high school coaches, man. Don't just jump in the transfer portal and think it's thousands of kids in the transfer portal. And kids don't always find a home.
Hold on.
The best home you got is the one you're at. So make sure you communicate before you make a rash, emotional decision to do something that you have no chance to get out of.
No money in the bank.
Hold on. 38. Say it one more time. How many thousands? Say it again.
Thousands of kids. Thousands.
Yes.
Kids. in the transfer portal. Do not make an emotional decision without communicating with the people you need to talk to.
Facts.
Wow. Tap in. I see Mama Victoria Jones says, I'm here. I'm engaged. She ready to go. She a big time football fan. And then of course, Jimmy Rucker is always there with us. He says, next man up, fellas. If somebody sleeping on their job, they want to leave it, then he knows somebody that'll take it. And I think he got a young bull coming up in his house. So let's go on to our next topic, you guys. And this is a gentleman who I think is playing right now, Melvin Gordon of the Denver Broncos, Wisconsin, Big Ten alum. And he had some troubles, you guys. Hold on to the rock last week versus the Raiders. I believe a couple fumbles, and one of them might even went to the house. And they asked him about it. Q and Carey, and supposedly he got frustrated and he walked out. So we've been talking about obligations and being, business minded and business savvy. Talk to me, Q. Have you ever been asked a question kind of sideways where maybe somebody was trying to provoke you? Do you have any advice for athletes after a poor game, how to handle the media?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's been plenty of interviews, that I've had. One of them was with Pam Oliver. Was one of my first. she just kept digging. So I definitely get it, man. But I feel as though with this particular situation, and I'd love to hear you guys' opinion, but I would rather an athlete to walk out than to say something that he can't get back.
Okay.
So if it's like if it's something that you can't answer, or you feel like that they're getting up under your skin, you can't handle the question. Push come to shove out, so you don't want it that way. But as far as the media, man, I would rather just walk out of the interview, and not answer than to say something that's really gonna make more trouble for me down the line.
Okay, I can respect that, and that's smart. That's you're not making it worse. Carey, let's put the fight in the Illini running back hat on you. You the running back coach, and you guys are playing Michigan, and your running back gives up 2 fumbles. How much are you pressing him at practice as the coach or in the meeting room?
Let me say this, because I am watching the game right now. He fumbled again. They just called it back. So he's gonna have some more things to talk about, whether he wants to or not.
Oh man!
He put it on the ground. Fortunately for him, they called the play. They blew the whistle before he. It was illegal formation on the Broncos, so they didn't count.
We done jinxed my man.
He did fumble it again tonight. I will say this: as a professional athlete, man, he has to stand there and answer that question. And the answer needs to be, you know what? I have not played well. I have put the ball on the ground too many times. It is hurting our team. It is hurting me. And I am trying to do better, and I will do better. And that's the end of it. I think I feel you keep walking out. If you don't have nothing good to say, don't say nothing at all. But when you walk out and then you do it again, you leave more people to ask you that. Now the question is going to be, man, what the hell are you doing? Are you even trying?
Right.
So I think that as a professional, collegiate and professional, those are 2 different entities as it pertains to being questioned and talking to the media and stuff like that. If I'm coaching a college kid and he's putting it on the ground, well, the first time we're gonna have a conversation if he gets a second time in the game, because that's the one thing as a person that takes care, that gets a chance to carry the football. We can't put it on the ground. We can't give it to the other team. But it would be a lot of work in practice, making sure that we are doing the drills, doing the things that are required to make sure that he's taking care of the football. And I think with Melvin Gordon, he's been putting that ball on the ground, and he did it again tonight. So I'm sure we might see another video of him walking out pretty soon.
Man. But on another subject matter though, and and all the young athletes that are listening, that is one of the things that you have to pay attention to with guys on the NFL level, because sometimes, and Carey, I'm sure you know, seeing that we all have, is when you get on that professional level, boys start losing their fundamentals.
Yeah.
They start losing their fundamentals. And it's like you made it to the league, but you almost got to take it all the way back to Pop Warner again. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying in regards to those beginning fundamentals, going back to ball security, high and tight, Right. So I mean that unfortunately, that's something that you all have to make sure, young athletes that are listening, is making sure that you never ever lose track of is losing your fundamentals. That's always got to stay with you throughout your career.
I think another thing that happens in when kids get to college and when they get to the NFL is sometimes they have bad habits already, and they are so talented that they don't have to work on those things. And you tell them over and over, like I got kids, I tell them over and over and over again, at some point, this ain't going to be good enough. It's going to be somebody that matches you talent-wise and does the technique the correct way, and you are not going to be able to be as successful as you are, and it's going to become frustrating. So sometimes the talent they feel at the time outweighs the technique. And young people, if y'all are listening and your coach is telling you the same thing over and over and over again, and you're not doing it because you have had success up until this point, there's going to be a time where you will not be able to have that much success, because you're going to run into some people. The further along you go, the more you're going to run into people that have just as much talent as you or more. Right. And are using the proper technique, and it's going to end for you. It's going to be a rough lesson to learn. So do it now, learn it now, and get to it before you have to get somewhere else and make it embarrassed.
Absolutely, because I know every DC is watching that. They not, because I'm telling you, every DC is looking right now like, hey, head on ball this week. Hey, put your head on the ball this week.
Money on the ground, huh? Money on the ground.
He don't want it. He gonna give it up. He'll get it.
And speaking of young running backs, I see you, Mondo. We got NCAA D3 running back Armando Morales in New York playing for Aurora University. So hey, Mondo, you getting it right here from a former NFL running back. You got to get back to the basics. You got to make sure you hold on to the rock. So there you go. We are on to our next portion of the show, and we appreciate Carey for joining us. He's bringing us the truth, you guys, and we always love people that bring us the truth. We are getting on to one of the fan favorite portions of the show. This is the locker room, and we have the now. Sorry about that. Let me get my thunder going. Make sure we're ready to go here. So the lightning round, you guys, is our version of word association, where we quiz our guest, and obviously tonight it is the great Carey Davis. So he's got 60 seconds, y'all. 60 seconds to tell us what's on his mind. We're going to throw some questions at him. We're going to mention some people to him, and we're going to see what comes out of his mouth. Now, I know he's from the Lou, and our very own Peter Guru can not be shy with his words. So we're going to keep it PG-13 at least with Carey tonight, and we're going to see if he can rock and roll. Now, Carey, we don't just do this for fun, brother. I know, you had some Mike Tomlin and Roethlisberger meals, but we got a meal for you, and we got a hotel stay if you are the champion of our fall season. So, okay. So right now, great question. That's a smart man. What do I got to do? What do I got to do, Coach?
38 ain't nothing but a 2-minute drill. 3-8. That's all it is.
I'll
say that. Yeah, that's all it is.
I can already tell he about to dip in my pocket, y'all. Now we already had one winner from the spring, and that was Trevor Galen. So we already had a St. Louis native win the spring, and now we're about to do our fall representative. So the number is 12. The number is 12. I think the great Dustin Woods, strength and conditioning coach of the Eagles, had it right now. So the number is 12. You got 60 seconds. You ready to go, big dog?
I'm ready to roll.
All right, cool.
All right. So let me cue up the stopwatch. Now, Carey was known to come through the hole and lay a linebacker out, but he's not afraid of the stopwatch. So let's see what he's got. And it's right here. And we'll start it.
First thing come to mind.
First thing come to mind. First thing to come to mind. All right. Number 1, Mike Tomlin. Go.
Awesome coach.
Will Smith or Chris Rock?
Man, I feel bad for both of them men.
Best defender you played against?
Troy Polamalu in practice.
Yeah. Ben Roethlisberger.
Great quarterback, great teammate.
The Big Ten.
Awesome football conference.
Hazelwood East.
Terrible. We don't know. Next question.
Kanye or Kendrick Lamar?
Kendrick Lamar all day.
Chad Ochocinco.
Should be in the Hall of Fame.
Sade or Janet Jackson?
Sade.
Loudest stadium you played in?
Happy Valley, Penn State.
American Gangster or Training Day?
Training Day.
Antonio, time. Okay, so let's count them up.
Yeah.
We're going to count them up. Now you get one. You get one for a delay, for internet delay. We always give one because we on the internet. Even though it sounds like you were cooking, you got the good internet at your house. We're gonna give you one anyway. So let's rewind this and count them up, and then we're gonna revisit them because I gotta ask him about a couple of these. Okay, so we got Mike Tomlin 1. We got feel sorry for Will and Chris 2. Best defense 3. Ben Roethlisberger 4. Big Ten 5. Hazelwood East 6. We got Kendrick 7. We got Ocho 8. Sade 9. Loudest Stadium 10. And we got Training Day 11. So you hit 12. You hit 12 because you got 11 with the extra one. So you tied. You're still in the mix. You're still in the mix for the fall hotel. So we're going to have to have a game breaker. We're going to have to have a game breaker. Dustin Woods, if you're watching, we're going to have to have a battle and figure that one out. But let's revisit these. So you got 12. You got Mike Tomlin. It's not just show. Legit coach, right?
Yeah. Mike T is, he got a lot of sayings and just a man's man, just a really a leader of men. And came in first time head coach and took a team that, as I said, had been to the Super Bowl. A lot of veterans. I think we had players on our team that were older than him at the time. And just came in and really, every man on that roster really appreciated him and respected him, and just a great man.
That's big. And obviously, Big Ten, great conference. He said to Hazelwood East.
I want to go into that one, though. I do want to go into that one, the Hazelwood East one. I went to Hazelwood Central. So those that don't know, Hazelwood East, Hazelwood Central is like one of the biggest rivalries in the state of Missouri. Yeah. Now, I did say
I found out from all of y'all.
But I got so much respect for them guys, man. All of them boys that really – Ricardo Rose was a person that he was one of their best running backs. He was a guy that I looked up to at Hazelwood Central. And I remember they came to, I think it was your senior year, Q. Y'all won state your senior year, right?
Yeah.
It was your senior year. Y'all came to Hazelwood Central and beat us 42-0. And I was a freshman. And Ricardo had 6 touchdowns, 5 rushing, and took a pick 6 to the crib.
Right.
He was, and I'm not exaggerating, Ricardo might have been 5'5", 5'6" at the most.
Yeah, he was like Darren Sproles before Darren Sproles.
Just a dog. Really? And they had so much talent, man. I have so much respect. My boy Michael Young went to Hazelwood East. We was Illinois teammates. So I give them crap because that's just what we do. Because if you just said Hazelwood Central, he said,
Right. But all respect, because that's the homies still.
It's all respect. It's all love. And we want them to be successful, except for when they playing us and vice versa.
Right.
So,
right. Coach, CJ passed the torch to this man right here. You see?
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
That's my boy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so man, and it's just what I love, man, is you having an opportunity to talk, talk to the homies like Carey, because it's a lot of guys, man, that came out of St. Louis, man, and we get slept
it's a
on.
sleeper.
Boys forget Zeke is out of St. Louis, so it's like it's man. I love it, man. The guys like Carey, man, Super Bowl champ. My man Brian Fletcher out of Hazelwood East, Super Bowl champ with the Colts. So it's like, man, we been cranking out people. So any coaches out there listening, especially any college, man, go back to St. Louis, man. We got it back at home. We got dogs back at home. We all respect
wide receiver for Detroit.
Oh, yeah, right, exactly, absolutely. Out of Cardinal Ritter, right. Jameson. So all respect to all my Florida players, my California, Texas, but man, St. Louis, man, we got players, man. Y'all
I saw a stat that St. Louis, and I'll send it to y'all. St. Louis was I think top 10. St. Louis was top 10 in cities of NFL players on active rosters right now.
Yeah, we like 7, bro. Yeah, like 6 or 7. Yeah, understand.
And here's another thing. Hazelwood East, I give them a whole lot, but they are one of the top teams in the state, one of the top schools in the country for draft picks out of high school. Like the high school with some of the most draft picks. So I got nothing but love for them boys, man. We go back and forth, but it's still
it's all love, no doubt.
Around the corner from each other. So it's always
but it's all St. Louis, man, for real.
Indeed.
So much respect. No doubt.
We got former teammate great Andy Peak jumping in, says great show, appreciate you, Big P. And then Jimmy Ruckus says you should have got 2 for Sade over the Janet Jackson on that one. So we're not even gonna get into that. So we are all you guys to our last section of the show. And once again, Carey, man, killing it. Thank you for your time. I know you're a busy man. We're gonna go to the audience Q&A, and I think Q, you got something for our man here?
I do, man. Actually, Carey, we would give me 1 second here. I just want to ask, man, I guess, just a personal question, man. Just kind of explain, man, just the feel, man, of being a Super and really accomplishing that, man. Like the feel of this being a Super Bowl champ. And when did it really set in? Like, man, we won the whole damn thing.
Man, it's like the amount of work you put in your entire life to attain something, to achieve something. I was fortunate to win state in high school. We won the year after y'all won.
Mm-hmm.
And you go through that high school season and really understand, man, that's a lot of hard work. And then I went to Illinois and we won the first Big Ten championship in like 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And you realize, man, that's a whole lot of work. And you are proud of the men that you did that with. And then you go and I'm fortunate enough to win a Super Bowl with a great group of men, and you really just, I don't know if it really hits you. I don't know when it hit me. Like, damn, maybe the next morning, like, yo, we really, for real, like really of the whole thing. Like, so, it's just those moments. But what made it more special, man, is the time you spend with your brothers, the time you spend with your guys, not even the football stuff, just off the field, laughing and joking and, having fun and spending time with each other's families. Those are the things that you cherish and remember the most, because those are moments you can't get back. Obviously, when you win, that's a special thing, but the people that you win with is more special.
Yeah. And that's the beautiful thing, again, all the young players, listen, that's the beautiful thing about this game is, man, you create a family, man, like for the rest of your natural life, man. To you old and gray, yeah, man, like that's your family, man. So that's one thing I love about this game.
Let me ask you, man, because you mentioned when we were doing the locker room, the lightning round, Troy Polamalu being the best player that you played against, and that was your teammate. But you guys had some dogs. All your linebackers, Higgins, Gordon, all those cats. You had what was it about Troy that made him head over heels the one that you say?
I played with two people that I think are probably some of the smartest people that in the game of football. One, I played my rookie year. I talked about Indianapolis. Peyton Manning was like a computer, like just the way he could process things. And you had to, in order to play in that offense, and like I said, I was on the active roster for one game, but through all the training camp, in order to get reps, even to get a chance to play, you had to know everything. And if you didn't know everything, you weren't going to play. And so crazy. he was one of the smartest people that I had ever been around. But then when I got to Pittsburgh, Troy Polamalu, and this is no exaggeration, this is when God-given talent meets work ethic, meets football IQ, and you wrap that all up in one. Troy was the smartest football player on the defensive side that I had ever been around. He could tell you what play was going to be ran based on the down and distance, based on the wide receiver splits, based on, where the ball was on the field. Like it was so meticulous in understanding the game and understanding what was going to be presented to try to beat them defensively. And it was just, it's just one of the smartest people. We were in film one day, and I remember Mike T saying, Troy, we don't have this in our defense. I don't know, why you do this, but we're going to add it. Right. It was just, if this is a man that could play deep half, cover two safety, or just from the line of scrimmage, Q. Literally, the ball is snapped and he take off.
Yeah, man.
But he knows he got time to get there based on film, based on down and distance, based on alignment and splits. And he knows I can take this risk at the line of scrimmage and still get to the deep half because there's probably not a route that's going to be ran behind me based on what this down and distance and what this receiver split is. And so you look at that. You can't.
That's a savant.
Like the only other dude that I've ever seen on tape be like that is Bob Sanders, and Bob he kind of was like that. This man, what do you do with a guy that's everywhere all the time? Like you look
Bob is a safety does not get enough credit because his career was probably too short. But man, he definitely was one that will came to strike people every time he came down.
Yeah, and it's like you look at Troy. I heard 9-2. Big James. He used to say that all the time. Like you look up, and he's 15 yards off the ball, and he's coming through the B gap. Like, where is this dude coming from? Like we don't have any. We can't pick him up, but he just knows. And next thing you know, like you look up, he's in a deep third. Now he's getting a sack. He's in the backfield. You're like, where the hell did this dude come from? So yeah.
Well, it's interesting that you brought up how meticulous he was because. Supposedly, I'm in the Bay Area, and supposedly he's been grooming and training this young safety from the Niners, Talafunga, that's from USC, and he got that pick. He got the pick 6 in the Monday night game, and they were saying that Troy was teaching him how to be meticulous. Like basically, he knew based off of the splits and the way that the tight end released. That it was going to be the screen to Cooper Kupp, and he could jump it.
Yeah, it is amazing the things that he could pick up by watching film and understanding. Like I said, down and distance, receiver alignment, receiver splits. He would know. He would have a really good idea of what was about to happen, and he could jump it and make plays, and people would be looking like, "That's amazing." No, that's film study. Mixed with somebody that is super talented. So, I know we got young people listening on here. Don't just rely solely on your talent because when, like I said, when talent and hard work and just, and a work ethic that will allow you to continue to do it every single day, when those things mesh, man, everything is at your doorstep.
Facts.
Wow.
Facts.
Wow. Well, hey, we are going to end it on that note. I just got goosebumps because he's telling the truth, y'all. He's telling the truth. So if you think you a dog, add a little bit of that film study to it, a lot of it, and add some of that desire and knowing your playbook, and you're going to take off like a rocket. So, hey, Carey, thanks again, brother, for coming in tonight. Good luck the rest of the season, man. And we're going to have to get you back on for the duel to get the dinner and the hotel stay.
I'm all for it, man. Y'all let me know when.
All right, bro. Appreciate you, man. Much love.
Appreciate y'all, bro.
All right, boy.
All right, there you guys have it. So that is Big Carey. And you guys, I mean, come on. We bringing you people that have done this. This man won a Super Bowl, something that we all dream of, Q. And, you know, it's not a dream for him. He lived it. He did it. He paid for it. And he's giving back, man, to the community. So that's big. What was some takeaways, man? What you think about the show?
Man, you know, I mean, you heard it, man, repeatedly. You just said it yourself. Young players, get used to watching tape. That's something that's going to always set you apart from all the rest of the players out there. Don't just, you know, if you are extremely talented, you know, athletically wonderful, but those are going to be the things among technique and watching film that's really going to make you head and shoulders above the rest of the pack.
Yep. And hey, you guys are dealing with more basic stuff. They only gonna have about 5-6 formation. You know, it's gonna be real basic. So if that gets you, you know, an extra 3 plays, an extra 4 big time plays on your huddle film, it could mean some money in your pocket.
Absolutely.
So, you know,
absolutely.
Just from watching a little more film, instead of getting on that Fortnite, or instead of getting on that Instagram, a little more film, put some money in your pocket.
Facts.
So all right, Q. So, hey, hopefully you guys have a great weekend. Finish watching games tonight. I know you guys got big time value out of the show, and we got a big time guest next week too. So you guys have a good one. Q, anything you want to say to the people?
Keep making plays. Parents, keep being supportive. We still got a lot of season left, so let's get to it.
Yes, indeed. A lot of season left. It ain't over, and every week is a new week. So make it happen. I'm Coach Wood. That's Q the Guru. Signing off. We'll see y'all at the top.